While round 1 and 2 of the final HOH on Big Brother 26 have taken place, with Chelsea winning part 1 of the HOH, a physical comp over MJ and Cam, good for Chelsea. And then MJ winning part 2 of the HOH competition, not shocking by any stretch. We've all talked about it for weeks now that Cam is god awful at these challenges. Not surprising, he lost one-on-one versus MJ. Both Chelsea and MJ have killed it in comps this season. If Chelsea wins this final HOH, she will break the record for most HOHs in a season. So, yeah, MJ's a comp beast, but honestly, so is Chelsea. Chelsea is just such a well-rounded player. If she wins, she will be in the one of the best winners ever. All those talks. She needs to be in the future. I know some people don't want to give her credit, but those people lack thinking skills. They're kind of like MJ to me. Do they have brain cells? I'm not convinced about it. Chelsea can still lose this game, though. There's scenarios where she doesn't win. MJ could win the final LHOH and cut her and take Cam to the end and win the game. Of course, none of us have that faith in MJ because of the way she's played up to this point, where for about a month now, maybe even two, MJ's just Chelsea's puppet. So how can we sit here and think that MJ's going to finally have a revelation that she could win this game if she cuts Chelsea and takes Cam to the end? And I think MJ knows that, but Chelsea has done a good job of, hey, we're the final two. I'm going to take you to the end. You're going to take me to the end. But honestly, that's like another great aspect of Chelsea's game. When it comes to the social game, when it comes to making these alliances with people, she put in that work with MJ to get them to this point together where they think, or at least MJ thinks, that Chelsea is taking her to the end. So MJ would probably take her to the end too. I think Chelsea might do that. If Chelsea wins this final HOH, cuts MJ, takes Cam to the end, is there enough people in jury to be bitter about Chelsea? Would MJ be bitter with Chelsea? Over the past 2 weeks, we've seen conversations on feeds where MJ is talking about how she wants to do the things that are best for Chelsea's game. We've seen at one point MJ say she doesn't really need the money. So would MJ actually be that bitter? I don't know. Thus far, the only thing that makes MJ bitter sometimes is when Cam doesn't give her enough attention, or when she loses a comp. She was not happy about losing the physical comp to Chelsea last night. I think that's kind of because MJ's been winning a lot of comps lately, so I'm sure that was just a little hit to her ego, losing that first HOH competition, or the first round of the HOH competition. That is where we stand, though, going into the finale on Sunday. Part 3 of the HOH won't take place until live on the finale. Obviously, like I've been doing for weeks now, rooting for a Chelsea win. The show has not had a great winner in a long time, and I do not count Small Stars. I'm sorry. Small Stars was an awful season. Cody winning because of this giant pregame alliance, this hardcore pregaming. I don't respect it. Never have. Don't think it should be that respected. The season in general was just dog shit. So I just don't respect Cody as a winner because of the pregame alliance. I don't. The casting that season really put a damper on the whole thing. They made it easy for the pregame alliance rather than trying to have a good season. And COVID played a part in that because I think Josh and Casey weren't on the show because of COVID, if I remember correctly. I don't remember exactly why they weren't on the show, but they were supposed to be a part of the cast. Although I think Casey might have just been a part of the pregame alliance too. But I think if Josh and Paul were on this season, it would have been a different story. We would have actually had some more gaming outside of a pregame alliance. Anyway, I'm going way too much into small stars here. My point being, if Chelsea wins, she is the best winner. Since I guess Derek, I think she'd be a better winner than Derek personally, but we'll get to that conversation if Chelsea actually wins. If she doesn't win, she's the best to not win, up there with Danielle Reyes. An MJ win, the only problem I have with an MJ win is that she was just a puppet this whole time, and that she's shown on so many different occasions this season that she doesn't really have a brain, and Jeg was kind of the same way. So if this show has back-to-back winners of brainless players, it just doesn't speak well to the game overall, in my opinion. And then if Cam wins because of a bitter jury, I don't love that either, but we'll get there when it happens. At this point, all we could talk about is that part 1 and part 2 of the final HOH have been completed. It will be Chelsea or MJ that win the final HOH and then have a decision to make. At this point, I don't see MJ cutting Chelsea if she wins. There's been no evidence at this point to show that would happen. We've seen MJ's actions for weeks now, just doing what Chelsea convinces her to do. And Chelsea, I'm going to be honest, I genuinely don't know what's the best move for Chelsea. Is it cutting MJ? Is it cutting Cam? If she cuts MJ, is there too many people on the jury that would be bitter against her? I don't think so. I would think going up against Cam, just not enough people in the end will respect Cam's game. But who knows? There's some softies in the jury, like Rubina. And then Angela and Leah are just being bitter Bettys. Or should I say bitter Karens, more like it. So it's possible. I don't know. I will see what Chelsea does if she wins the final HOH. The best thing Chelsea has going for her, in my opinion, is that I think whoever she's against, Cam or MJ, her final pleas, her answering the question of the jury, I think is going to be way better than the other two.